Good day. Welcome to this edition of Newsmakers, a program of the Rock County Civics Academy, where we bring into the studio people who, well, you may know and then again you may not, but they are people who quietly, oftentimes behind the scenes, are making a real difference in the quality of life that we enjoy here in the greater Rock County community. My pleasure today to welcome into the studio Jennifer Johns. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You know, you have so many different hats that it's difficult to sort through and a place to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply say, we'll set the stage by talking about your professional life. You have a big job that demands a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I'm curious how you keep up with it, let alone all those other things that you do. So tell us about what you do in your professional life.
Sure. I currently serve as the Director of Development for the Mercy Health Development Foundation, and I also oversee the House of Mercy Homeless Center. I've been in that role for just over 15 years, and you're right, it is a fairly demanding career. As Mercy Health grows, the market continues to get larger, the footprint of the health system is larger, and so we definitely work really hard to service our donors and steward donors within our entire footprint of Mercy Health.
That footprint takes you to 2 states and multiple counties, and you're stretching from nearly Lake Michigan to the Mississippi and all points north and south in between.
Yes.
So that's a big territory.
It is.
And that's demanding because it takes not only a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy. But then you throw into the mix, you have another life outside of Mercy Health System, and maybe that's the one that is most important from our perspective. You are an elected official.
I am.
You are a member of the school board for the school district of Milton. What in the world convinced you that that was something you really should be doing, and why?
Yeah, I actually decided to throw my name in the hat when Diamond McKenna's seat opened up. And so I actually did not run as an April election, but I was actually appointed. But I did choose to fill out the application for that process. And in September of 2020, I can't believe it's been that long already, but I was selected to fill out her seat. And then I did need to run for re-election.
In 21, right in the middle of the beginnings of the pandemic.
Yes, exactly. So I chose really to do that because I had 2 children, both were in high school at the district, and I really have a passion for education. Prior to my role at Mercy Health Foundation, I served for just over 5 years at the University of Rock County, now UW-Whitewater at Rock County, as their director of foundation. And so education has always been really important to me, and I like to be involved in education. I continually learn. I feel like at every school board meeting that I attend, I personally learn something new, and I'm really feeling like I actually am making an impact on some of the decisions that are made within the district, and I work with a fantastic group, the other 6 members of that board, and I really do move things forward, I think, in a positive direction.
Well, and if you look across most of the benchmark indicators of performance, the Milton School District is doing exceedingly well in this area, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And I think part of it is the stability and the quality of leadership that comes from that Board of Education. You're one of 7, which is a challenge because a lot of people run for office thinking that I'm going to go in there and I'm going to change the world and I will be the leader and I will make things happen on day one. And the reality is there's a lot of preparation that goes into being ready to assume that office, and particularly if you're going to assume it under the right sort of attitude.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you definitely, it's just like any other board that you would choose to serve on. There's going to be times where you don't agree with the majority, but I feel like it's really important to voice my opinion, but also then to keep an open mind about the other six's ideas and their opinions. And we typically can politely agree to disagree at times, but also we really have fantastic dialogue on some of the key issues that would affect our students.
Is it fair to say that about 95% of what a school board member does is routine stuff? And it's that 5% of the time that gets you into those areas of potential controversy or new territory that tests those relationships?
Yes, I would say that's definitely a fair statement, right? Most agendas are very similar in nature. Every 2 weeks, there's the formal stuff that the board needs to do on those meetings. But then there is those controversial items that come up, or perhaps we'll have a particular community group that raises a concern that, again, we have to address. That's the part I like.
In terms of preparing to run for office, you had to, at some point in time, say to yourself, I am going to go through the effort to apply, and I'm going to go through the effort of understanding the organization and the institution, and that's a necessary beginning, is it not, if you're going to serve effectively?
Yes, absolutely. Certainly, knowledge is important before you even decide to apply or run for office, any office, truly. I did my homework. I did start to attend the school board district meetings in advance, getting a feel for what the board makeup was. The dialogue that they had, again, prior to my arrival was important. But the most important thing that I did to prepare truly was to talk to those who came before me. I specifically talked to at least 4 different school board members that had been long time Milton School Board members. And so that helped immensely in kind of the way that I also handled probably the first 6 months of being a board member there.
What was or has been the toughest decision you've had to make as a member of the school board? And how did you prepare for it?
Well, unfortunately, it was COVID. So that was definitely the hardest time of being a school board member. It was very divided. The meetings became very heated at times because parents were extremely passionate about either masking or not. They also were very opinionated about how the district should handle the pandemic. Should we come back to school? Should we come back part-time? So the pandemic was certainly the most challenging time being a board member. And I feel, in reflection, the board did an excellent job, but we can't really take credit for that. The administration and staff at the district handled that with such professionalism, and the teaching staff really was the folks that were making those day-to-day decisions when we did bring students back, making sure that their health was the most important thing.
Is it a fair assumption to make that in order to effectively serve on an elected board, you really need to spend some time understanding the organization, the rules by which they function within, and walk in with a sense of respect for the institution, and perhaps even more importantly, develop a respect for the fellow board members, even if they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, respect them, because you still live in that rule of 4, which means you're one person, but you got to have 3 more friends or 3 more supporters if you're going to make anything a reality.
Yes, that is definitely true. Doing, again, the background of any organization that you're going to be part of is really important, because I also feel like you have to have the passion within yourself to want to make a difference and help, again, whatever, if it's a town board, if it's the county board, if it's city council, if it's school district, you really do have to have the desire to, again, entrench yourself when necessary into all of it. It's really important. Now, granted, there are certain things that, right, a school board member is truly, our responsibility is, right, to, again, oversee the work of the superintendent and to create and amend policy. And on paper, that is true, but it is so much more than that.
Well, and even in the big picture, you've got a responsibility for approving a budget, in spite of the fact that much of that budget is determined by virtue of what is coming down the pike in state aids. And it's a real team effort, is it not? You are literally partnering with a lot of people to make the school district excel. It's something you can't do on your own. It's a team effort. It's just simply a different perspective of how team works.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I can't say enough great things about the administration at the school district. That group of professionals really does make our job so much easier.
You somehow find the time in your schedule to add in not only the school board, but I believe it's 6 or 7 other not-for-profit boards in the region where you play an active role as a board member. That's a lot of juggling, but it all has, I guess, a common purpose, a common theme, and that's for you to find a way to give back to the community. Fair
Yes,
statement?
absolutely, exactly. And again, I do serve on a number of nonprofit boards within our community. It's really important for me to give back, but also those organizations that I'm involved in, I have a real passion for. And again, I feel like I want to be part of an organization like the YMCA. I've been a long-time YMCA member all the way back to, I think my original card was when I was 17 years old. So again, being on the YMCA board has been really kind of coming full circle for me, because it was one of my first jobs as well. So I love serving on that board. And there are others, but again, it's always really something that I want to be a part of, a really fantastic group of people.
Well, one of the skills I believe that's essential is a desire to learn. Another one of those skills that has to be essential, obviously, is time management. And if those things in combination puts you in a position where you can serve and serve effectively. And for that, that takes some work, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And there's certainly some sacrifices along the way. But
there's a lot of reward,
There
too.
is very much a lot of reward. And again, I do find that I probably get a lot more out of the nonprofit work
than you probably do in just about anything else.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit of giving that you're all about. A pleasure, as always, to have a chance to converse with Jennifer Johns. She's the director of the Mercy Development Foundation, but on top of that, she's so much more. And thanks for all you do in the community.
Thank you for having me.
That's going to wrap this edition of Newsmakers. Join us again next time. We'll have somebody else up front and personal to get to know just a little bit better the people that make a difference in your community, the people that, well, they make it a better place to live for all of us. Until next time, take care.